Hi everyone. So today we will have another good view on how we can use for loop in Arduino for some LED related stuffs. Okay. So let's think of we are going to switch on a particular number of LEDs one by one. So let's forget about the void setup for the moment. Let's just think about the void loop, right? So let's say my task is something like this. Digital write, let's say pin number 10. Okay, is high. That means I am switching on a LED that is connected to pin number 10. You can think like that. Okay, so then I also switch on digital write 11 high. So even though we are doing it in different lines, everything happens in same time, because I already told you to the program, to the Arduino coding, to go from one line to another line, it takes almost no time, almost 0 seconds. So everything happens in the same moment, but for our writing purposes we are writing in line by line. Okay, so let's say I'm writing what 12. Okay, 12, and let's copy and paste, so it makes save some time for us. 14, and let's say 15. Okay, 15. So 12, 13. Oh my god, it goes lengthy. Let's stop with 14. Okay, 14. So 10 to 14, 5 LEDs I am switching on. So instead of writing all these lines, what we can do is we can simply use a for loop to repeat this scenario, right? So if all the lines are same, I can write a for loop, and I can write, okay, the single line, the single piece of code that is being repeated into the for loop. But the problem is the number is being changed: 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So what I will do is I will use a variable I as usual, and I will pass the variable I into this place of the numbers, and I will make sure that I changes from 10 to 14 in a proper manner. And also I make sure this loop is running 5 times, because 5 lines are there. Get the point? So how do I do it is I write 4. So first I will say int I, int I, int I, int I. So I am making the video just for your clarity, so that, because I believe that if you try one again and again, then you will at least get some understanding about what actually happens. So let's say, okay, amazing. Okay, for I is, we will have the 10 as at the initial state, 10. So why do we have 10? Because we are going to pass the I itself into the digital write. So the first time when the I is being passed, the number should be 10, because the first line is 10 high, no? So that is why I start from 10, and the last line should be 14. Okay, so the final iteration, at the final iteration, I should be 14, because I am going to pass I, and it should be 5 times. So 10 to 14 is obviously 5 times, so that might not be an issue. So what I will do is I will do like this. I will say I is less than equal to 14, or you can write I is less than 15. Both are same. I want to include 14 as well, so I am saying I is less than equal to 14. So 14 also will be included. Only 15 will be, from 15 only it will be excluded. Then what I will do is I will increase I by 1. That means 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, see, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So that is what I want to happen. Okay, I want it to do. So what then I will do is I will write the repeatable code. So the minimum repeatable piece of code is digital write whatever the number, comma, high. No, so I am passing I here, I high. Okay, so then what I will do is I will have a semicolon. This is all I have to do. So first we will see the values in a comment. Okay, so I will write a comment. Okay, so at the first iteration I will use 10. Okay, so I is 10. So when it comes to first time into this, because I is equal 10, so then we can check the condition. I less than 14 is true, 10 less than 14 true. So we write digital write 10 high. So at the moment what happens is the line number 9, okay, this line is being written in the code. Okay, it is like we have printed this here. So then it will be implemented. Like we manually type it here, it will be implemented. Then that means we printed this line. Okay, so this is done. Okay, this is done. Okay, printed, done. Okay, so let's not have a comment. Instead, let's say make some space. So this is done. So now we have tried the second line. So for that again we come here. So the new I is now increased by 1. So the new I is 11. Yes or no? Yes. So then again I come here and check 11 is less than 14 is true. So we get into the for loop and again digital write I will be replaced by 11. I value is 11 now. So now what is the meaning of that? Line number 10. So this thing. Okay, so this line I wrote now. Manually writing the line I am writing for loop. So this line also I wrote. Okay, so then again I increase the I by 1 because I plus plus is there, so it will be increasing the I by 1 at the last line of the for loop. I explained you that. So new I is 12, so that is true. 12 less than 14 loop true, so I will be replaced by 12. So this line also now written. Okay, so again it is increased by 1, 13. So 13 less than 14 true. Digital write 13 high will be replaced here. So this line, not this line also now written in the code. And again 13 is incremented by 1, so it is 14. The new I is 14. So 14 less than 14 is 14 less than or equal to 14 is true. So we get into the loop and again this I is replaced here as 14. So this line also now written using for loop. Then again I is incremented by 1 at the end of the line, end of the for loop block. So now new I is 15. So we come here and check the I value. So 15 less than or equal to 14 is false. So we will skip the for loop and we will come to the end of the coding, end of the white loop. So now all these 5 lines have been written using for loop. So since I write such a for loop, what I can do is I can remove all these 5 lines. Okay, so I mistakenly removed that void setup also. So just void setup and void loop part, but just try to understand the concept of the coding. I will only keep the void loop. Okay, so this is what I have done using the for loop. So I hope this is that much easy to you. So two things to remember. So every time when the condition becomes true, we get into the for loop and we do whatever we write within the for loop. It can be a same repeatable action like printing a text, okay, or it can be a variable passing thing. So the second thing comes into that variable passing stuff. So if it is a variable value that is going to change within the loop for a particular number of time, then you should be aware what are the values you are going to use for the I, and you are going to use that I value into the for loop. Okay, so that is what I want you to understand. So now try to see, because when we are trying to switch on LEDs, we are writing the pin mode also, no, in the void setup. So if there is a LEDs, if there are LEDs from pin number 10 to 14, we write 5 lines of pin mode, right? Pin mode, yes or no? 10, then what we do? Output. Like that we write 5 lines from 10 to 14. Yes or no? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't write the lines, so we write 5 lines, no? So try to do that same thing using the for loop inside of the 5 lines. So you can you do it as your exercise now, because you have the reference of what I have done now. So using the same scenario, you can try to implement the for loop instead of writing 5 lines within the void setup. You understand? So do that practice so that you can have some hands-on experience on this. So I will catch you in the next video, guys. Until then, consider subscribing us. Have a great day ahead. Bye.